So do you see the effect of the housing crisis at the moment? Perhaps some of these policies that we're talking about is that young people can't get into a home. They're very lifestyle driven. They don't want to just buy a home in an area that they don't want to live. So perhaps those young people are saying, well, I'm not going to buy a house to live in, but I'm going to buy an investment property. So it keeps on, this kind of train keeps on expanding on itself.
Well, there are some young people who are undoubtedly doing that, and it works for them in part because the interest that they pay on the loans they take out to buy an investment property is tax deductible. Whereas if you take out a loan, as almost everyone does, to buy a home in which you intend to live in yourself, the interest is not tax deductible, nor, of course, is the capital gain when you sell it taxable, as it is in the case of an investment. But most people who are buying a home of their own are usually thinking about it as a place where they want to live, where if they plan to start a family, they intend to raise them, rather than viewing it solely as an investment proposition, which, of course, investors in housing do.
So do you think property prices will just keep on going up in Australia, or is there a view that there might be a crash?
Well, if we keep doing what we've been doing for the last 60 years, which is needlessly inflating the demand for housing by throwing cash at people, enabling them to spend more on housing than they otherwise would do, which is the effect of first homeowners grants, stamp duty concessions, mortgage deposit guarantee schemes, shared equity schemes, and would be the effect of super for housing if that were ever legislated. If we keep doing that, and if we also keep restricting the supply of housing by excessively onerous zoning and planning laws, and by imposing ever-rising taxes and charges on people who are building new homes, if we keep doing dumb things, we're going to get perverse results, which is increasingly expensive housing. The problem, Laura, I suspect, is that, although they don't say it, politicians know that in any given year there are about 100,000 people who succeed in becoming first home buyers. And even if you assume for everyone that does, there are 5 or 6 who don't, that's maybe 700,000 votes for policies that would restrain the rate of house price inflation. Whereas politicians also know that at any point in time there are at least 11 million Australians who own their own home. There are at least 2 million who own at least one investment property. That's somewhere between 11 and 13 million votes for policies that would keep house prices going up at the sort of rates they have done over the last 30 years. Even the dumbest of our politicians can do that math, and they do.
Yeah, they do indeed. The dumb policies and the base politics. Saul, great to talk to you today.